More than 100 years after the first wagons chugged their way slowly from Mombasa to Nairobi, Kenya's new railway is ready to go. This is after 2.5 years of construction of the first phase of what is the country's most ambitious and expensive project since independence. The cost so far, $3.25 billion. When the entire railway from south to western Kenya through the Rift Valley is completed, the government is likely to have spent about $10 billion, most of that funded from Chinese loans.
This railway is not just for us. It is for the many, many generations that will come long after we are gone.
One train can carry just over 200 containers in a reduced time of 8 hours from the 2 days used by highway trucks. This is where the government hopes to get most of its revenue. At 120 kilometers an hour, the passenger train will take about 4.5 hours from Mombasa to Nairobi. The old train took 12. Along the way, it passes scenic landscapes and some of the country's iconic animals.
The train is comfortable, it's very smooth, and I'm really enjoying it.
We're now passing through Tsavo Game Reserve, which has a huge wildlife population. This railway line will eventually also cut through the Nairobi National Park, and that is worrying many conservationists. Economists, on the other hand, say the cost of construction is just too high.
It replaces this, the expensive colonial-era line that British parliamentarians dubbed the Lunatic Express more than a century ago because of the cost and logistical problems. The debate around the new railway's construction costs is just as heated as it was in England back then.
If you compare the cost of the SGR per kilometre relative to that has been constructed by our neighbours, but chiefly Ethiopia, Kenya's railway line costs are almost 40 to 50% higher. It's an extremely expensive piece of railway, especially since the technology is also not up to date.
The railway service will be fully operational by January. The government says this will transform the economy and create jobs. Critics argue that to get value for money, Kenya has to find a better way of repaying the hefty Chinese loans and meeting operational costs. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Mombasa, Kenya.